Hello, everybody. So I decided to change things up a bit since the kids' book was getting a bit old. Honestly, I was thinking it was getting a bit old, and views are kind of going down. So I wanted to keep things fresh. So we're gonna be taking a look at TV shows and seeing what characters, items, or other aspects could be SCPs. So as per usual, or if you're new and haven't seen the other videos from the series, here are the object classes. A quick explanation. Safe. Put in a box and forget. Euclid. Requires a bit of maintenance, some procedures to keep in the box. Keter. Needs 24/7 surveillance, procedures, and maintenance to prevent leaving the box. Thomule means it's literally the box. And Napoleon basically means that there's nothing we can do. There's no way to contain it. It's gonna break out eventually. We're fucked. Now, I do need to preference this. These aren't strictly kids shows. There are gonna be some kids shows in here, but I'm talking about general TV shows. This is mainly just so I have more material to work with. So, that being said, let's get into it. SCP-X15 is a 4 to 5 bedroom, 3 bathroom, 2-story home located in, with other rooms consisting of a foyer, dining room, kitchen, basement, attic, garage, living room, and a treehouse in the backyard. The anomalous properties of SCP-X15 stems from its architectural inconsistencies. Rooms tend to change position and presence in the room at any given time, such as the recreation room or rumpus room. A few other rooms also remain consistent in its placement, such as the foyer, kitchen, living room, hallways, and dining room. SCP-X15 was discovered after multiple reports from plumbers, electricians, and HVAC tradesmen working on calls relating to building maintenance, reported shifting and inconsistent room layout. An additional cover story has been formulated that SCP-X15 has been condemned by city officials for undergoing renovations. Now, the Simpsons household of 742 Evergreen Terrace can just be explained with the writers just shifting the building around, placing new rooms, for the sake of gags or whatever the story actually needs. However, this is the SCP series, so we're going to take this as seriously as possible, and pretend like this is just an anomalous aspect of the home. Now, I did consider making this our first Thomule entry, since it is unknown what happens to an entity that's stuck in a disappearing room like the Rumpus Room, but there are several issues with that. For one, the home is assumedly made with standard construction materials, meaning anything could just break out. Another issue is a theory I have as to where the Rumpus Room may lead to when it shifts or disappears. I believe the Rumpus Room simply transports itself to another Simpsons home in another dimension when it is needed for the story, or just at random. So if you trap an entity in there, you just transported it to another dimension, only for it to break out again. You didn't really contain it. Object class, Euclid. I'm giving it Euclid simply because of its cover story, and needing to keep something like this a secret in the middle of a suburban town like Springfield would be a bit difficult without rousing suspicion, especially knowing what some side characters get up to. The next entry is something that could very well be our very first Thomule entry. SCP-X16 is a dimension only accessible by high-tech solutions or supernatural means. SCP-X16 is composed of rocks floating in space and large webs of stone. This suggests that physics within SCP-X16 operates on a completely different set of laws, which is currently under investigation. SCP-X16 was completely barren of life until a recently contacted group known as began using it as a prison for dangerous alien lifeforms and anomalies. Requests to observe require Level 1 clearance, and requests to enter SCP-X16 require a clearance level of 3, and must go in a group no smaller than 3 staff members. That's right, a second peak has hit the Papa B channel. Peak has been mentioned a second time. So, I think the ranking for the Null Void should be completely obvious. Do I really need to explain? Object class, Thomule. our very first Thaumiel entry. It was discovered to be the perfect prison dimension for anomalies considering its breathable atmosphere, and only reliable means of escape being by magic and the null void projector exit portals. Plenty of villains from Ben 10 have escaped, but I doubt the SCP Foundation would make silly mistakes like that. Plus, I think most of this was caused by the writers just wanting to bring back characters and whatnot. Now, while we're on the theme of transporting to weird and exotic worlds, SCP-X17 appears to be a standard-grade yellow school bus found outside. The bus possesses the ability to move its headlights and bumper as if they were eyes and a mouth respectively. Additionally, the controls of the bus possess several anomalous features not found in standard school buses, such as controls for the size of the bus and its occupants, flight controls, nautical and amphibious controls for both above and below water navigation, air seals, and the ability to produce safety suits for passengers fit for space, underwater, and bodily excursions. SCP-X17 also possesses the ability to drive, transform, and use its features without the need of a driver operating the vehicle. SCP-X17 is now kept at Site-47. That's right, we're killing two birds with one stone here. Both a book series and a TV show, a little something for the people who still want me to do kids' books. The Magic School Bus is shown to be sentient to some degree and can act on its own accord. With this in mind, it is entirely possible that it could escape in numerous different ways, possibly even shrinking to a quantum level to fly through the very atoms of any doors that may be in its way. However, the Foundation could simply try to starve it of gasoline, since it still needs it to run despite its magic properties. Object Class: Keter. Now for something a bit more supernatural, coming from something a lot more adult. SCP-X18 is an apparition of the Holy Figure, the Virgin Mary, only found in the Gentleman's Club in... The apparition only appears after hours, and only when a single person occupies the building. During appearances, subjects report that SCP-X18 will only appear for 2 seconds while music blares through the club's speakers, holding the pose most paintings of the Holy Figure normally portray, after which the apparition will immediately disappear and all music will cease. Subjects outside the club report not hearing any music before, during, or after appearances. Okay, I know this apparition is a narrative device meant to be a spiritual wake-up call to Polly, but I really wanted a Sopranos entry, okay? The apparition doesn't really do much. It appears, then disappears. That's about it. Considering that it's only seen and possibly only appears within the Bada Bing, it is effectively self-contained. While humanoid in appearance, its effect is highly predictable and seems to pose no threat of escaping or doing outside harm. Object Class: Safe. I would have more entries for you, but the mobile task force is on my ass right now, so I gotta go. Remember to like, subscribe. If you're new and you're a mobile user, hype the video, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.